Welcome, everyone, to the Paranormal Pride. I know it's been a while. I'm your host, Denise Pridemore, and my co-host, Ron, here. I hope everybody is having a great day. Wanted to update everybody on some good news that we had. I know that when we last did the show, my nephew was in the hospital, Vincent, after a tree fell on him. He is now home, and he is doing well. And the other nephew that has brain cancer, he still has brain cancer, just a different one. It's not glioblastoma, it's now glioma, and better survival rate. So thank you guys all for your prayers. Apparently, they did make a difference, and I'm just going to smile and be happy.
Hey, Susan and Mike.
And Tom.
Yeah, hello, Tom.
So I'm going to welcome my guest, David Glidden, to the show, because I don't want to procrastinate this too long. We got lots of stuff to talk about, and we really just want to have a good time. You're muted, David.
I know. I just got it. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thanks for having me on.
So the other day,
hey, Crystal,
you made an announcement on Facebook, and instead of me reiterating it, why don't you tell us all about it?
Yeah, tell the people who aren't on Facebook.
Maybe they're just on YouTube.
We would never know.
Or if they're on.
Oh, yeah. I've
No.
been watching your stuff on YouTube. The stuff you just released.
I've got some more stuff coming up at the end of the week on YouTube. A new video. It's not part of the Ghosted show, but it's a new video that I literally shot like 2 weeks ago, over at Garnett House with Justin Spurrier. We had a hell of a night over there. We literally investigated at least 12 hours straight. It was awesome. The activity was jumping. But video on that's going to be coming out this weekend. There's also going to be a little introduction to a new piece of equipment that nobody's using, and to my knowledge, nobody has. And I'll be sharing that out there for everybody to see what it is. And I think once people see it, they're going to like the idea behind it, and they're going to be looking for it. So
who's the creator? Can you tell us who the creator was of the piece of equipment? Nope, nothing. Nope. Okay,
nothing.
Won't ask any questions then. We'll have to wait until you put out your video.
Some of the new Ghosted episodes, though, have started dropping on Dark Realm Network, which if you have Roku or Amazon Fire Stick, you can look up Dark Realm TV, subscribe to that. They have a 7-day free trial. It's only $4.99 a month, and they've got enough paranormal content or just content in general for something new every day. So every other week, they'll be dropping new episodes of Ghosted on there. We dropped a alternate version of the Beaumont Hotel, which I've got one version on my YouTube channel and a different version on Dark Realm, with additional scenes and more evidence in that. This past Saturday, they just released the Emmaus Village episode, which was pretty damn amazing. And then here in 2 weeks, I'll be dropping that episode on YouTube. So I'm giving them a 2 weeks head start on showing the videos. But the big announcement that I made that you were alluding to was that I've decided that I'm going to kind of pivot away from just documentary filmmaking, and I'm looking to actually shoot my first feature film. It might be a short film, it might be long form. I'm not sure yet. It's going to depend on how we shoot this and everything. It could be either. It could really go either way. But the idea I've had in my head for a long time now, and recently it's just been festering, and life happens, and it's like, things happen for a reason, and I kind of feel like this is the reason. So I did set up a GoFundMe. It's on Indiegogo. I will try to pull that up here in a minute and share the link for everybody. But the film is called From the Darkness. It's kind of a play, it's a little Easter egg, if you will, for the Into the Light, From the Darkness and Into the Light. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it's going to be like a sci-fi horror suspense kind of film.
As long as Josh Hurd gets abducted, I'm good.
He might.
Well, we know he's been waiting, begging.
I will be seeing Josh this weekend too. So,
Well, you tell me hi. So
Where are you seeing him at?
we'll be at the Crossing Realms conference in Richmond, Missouri this weekend. Friday night, I'll be showing Into the Light 2, and then I'll be sitting around Saturday just trying to get people to go to the web pages and check out the events I've got going on with Midwest Mystery Tour and the film and the YouTube channel.
well, that's good. I'm glad you've got something to keep you busy.
Oh yeah,
because I know keeping you busy is not easy.
How's John doing?
John's all right. He's not too bad. He's kind of been staying busy, just trying to get his daughter situated in her new home and make sure everything's set up for that. But yeah, he's been good so far.
Good.
So far, so good.
We think about him often. It's good, man.
I could go holler at him real quick.
Well, if you want to, that'd be nice. Yeah, scream at him.
Let me see if he wants to, because he's a little disheveled from working on a tractor. All right,
I understand. So you guys may remember John if he does come. He is part of Haunting History, and he's a really good friend of David's as well as ours. And he is a really good man. He used to build lighting for the paranormal field, for filming especially, really bright.
I guess he went outside.
Well, that's okay. I introduced him so in case he does show up, everybody will know who he is.
He'll peek his head in off camera. He did that earlier before I got on here.
Well, we think, like I said, we do think about John often. He's a good man, gone through a lot of stuff. So,
oh yeah.
So I know you've got a lot of things going on, and I know that you were looking to move. Have you found a place to go?
No. That's the whole life thing that I was talking about, where life happens. For those that don't know, I was actually planning on moving back at the end of July, and I quit my job, pulled out my retirement, and was going to buy some land. And then the person selling the land couldn't find his papers that he needed for the sale, and we waited 3 weeks. That fell through. So I attempted to purchase another piece of property, and then they started throwing restrictions on there. And so I decided not to go with that one. And then I went after another piece of property, and there towards the end at the closing, the guy decided that he only had like 6 months to live or something like that, or a year. And he decided he wasn't going to sell the property, and he was going to give it to his kids when he passed away. So
that was in Branson, right?
Yeah.
In that area?
Yeah, that's what the goal was. Yeah, all three of them.
Oh wow.
I've got family over there, so I was going there to be closer to my mom.
That's a nice area.
But
one of our neighbors actually moved here from there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised though. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, up the street. Well, next door, our neighbors from Lee's Summit, Missouri.
Wow.
So we don't even feel like we left.
But yeah, since then all that went down. Like I've just been kind of sitting at home editing all these videos and just kind of planning my next step. And this next step, this is really where I kind of figured like going with the film is like where this is leading me. And I'll tell you, like, I started filming Haunting History like way back in like 2014 or something like that.
Yeah.
And whenever I was doing that, I was a manager at a store, and I was there for like 3 years. And like, I just had this thought, this feeling that I needed to make a documentary film. I needed to take the next step forward. And at that time, I decided, okay, I'm going to do it. And I quit my job and went and filmed Into the Light. and it had pretty good success. I was pretty proud of that. And then with my second film, you know, the urge kicked up again. This might sound bad. I quit my job again just to go film. I guess you can tell where my passions lie, but like the job that I had that I left for this move wasn't a job that I hated or anything. This was a job that I liked, and I was actually getting paid pretty good at it. And you know, with everything just kind of falling apart like that, it brought up those old feelings about filming again. And you know, I've got a lot of new contacts in the film industry that some of them have reached out, and you know, that I'm excited to potentially work with on this project. So I have to raise the funds for the film, though. That's the kicker on it. So I've got an Indiegogo campaign set up for the film. There's some perks in there. My goal on that Indiegogo is 7,000. Like, I am a very resourceful person, so I don't need a lot. But you know, most of your independent films, you know, they'll run about $50,000 to $100,000. I don't think I'll need that much. Not for this. So, bar set.
But you
low.
do know a lot of people.
I do. I've
And
got.
on top of that, being part of Dark Realm probably helps as well.
It very well does. I mean, that gives me not only, you know, a lot of people concerned, like when they're contributing to something like this, they're concerned of where it's going to be seen or anything like that. And my goal is to take it around to the film festivals, and if I could sell it, then I'm going to sell it, and it'll get distributed from somebody who buys it. If it doesn't, I have options. I have fallback options with Dark Realm. There's always Hulu, Netflix, you know, all the major streaming services. So I've got options on my outlets. It's just going to depend on the film itself and what route I choose to take, and the opportunities that present themselves too. So,
But your name is out there. I mean, when I was writing my thing for the show, the banner, I used Copilot.
Video
and so
Copilot.
a lot of the information came right up.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently Copilot AI can find you. I mean, there's other David Gliddens out there.
Yeah.
But it chose you.
Now, as far as I know, I'm the only one that does anything in film. So that's as far as I know.
Maybe you're also the only one that does anything in the paranormal too.
Well, I can guarantee you that. I actually years ago set up a Facebook group page for anybody named David Glidden, and I sought out everybody I could find on Facebook with my name and added them to the group. And we have this big group that we all just chit chat on, and we there for a while we're jumping on each other's posts and stuff and liking and stuff, and you would see people like, why are you liking your own post? It's like, it's not, it's me. You know, it's pretty interesting.
Oh, I still find it odd that there are other Lula Pridemores out there. I mean, Pridemore is not that common of a name, and Lula definitely isn't.
Well, yeah,
and we had one
definitely.
that lived. Yeah, there was one that lived in Grandview when we lived in Kansas City, Missouri, and we used the same doctors and banks and everything. I was like, this is odd. And there are other Denise Pridemores out there too.
I would believe it. It's interesting.
I hope they're not like me.
I honestly encourage anybody that wants to try it to go on Facebook and stuff or Instagram or something and just search your name and see how many those people are on there that have your name, and then just try to reach out to them or something. Be like, hey, my name is this. This is weird, but you want to be friends? We the guys in our group, we tried to band together because one of the David Gliddens was a Oklahoma State football player who got I don't know, I can't remember if he got drafted or if he was an undrafted free agent for the Atlanta Falcons. So he was playing wide receiver for Atlanta, or at least he was at training camp with them. We were trying to get him to join the group, but I don't think he ever did. So it was fun.
Well, that's funny because a guy named Tom Pridemore used to play on the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the first time we had seen the name Pridemore publicly.
Became a senator.
Yeah, became a senator in Virginia.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then I did a drive from my mom's down to Virginia, and we stopped at this rest area that had not rest area, bathroom that had a subway and all this stuff. And we're walking through, and I look up, and on this board is some late girl named Lauren Pridemore, who's the manager of Subway, which Lauren was the manager of Subway in Kansas. And she was selling her car. And so we had to go stand in line to say hi to her, to let her know that this is Lauren Pridemore too, So it was kind of funny. Because, like I said, you just don't see Pridemores everywhere. And I found out here there's a bunch. I haven't met them yet, but there's a bunch here.
Yeah, it seems like they're usually like conglomerated in one part of the country, more or less. And that could just be stemming from where family comes from. But like a lot of mine just seems to be the Northeast. So.
So maybe that's where your family truly settled, and David being such a common name.
It is. When we came from Europe, we settled in like Pennsylvania and that area. Some of them are in Ohio, and then we streamed over to Illinois. That's where I'm from, and I think there may be a few of them that made their way out west, but for the most part, it's the North and Northeast.
So how many of them are Bears fans? Do you know?
Only one. This guy.
You're the only one left, aren't you?
Of all the Bears fans.
Seems like it. A little bit of rough going right now for the Bears. But, I'm a realist, and I know first-time head coach with a new quarterback and a new system, and our secondary is completely decimated. We're playing practice squad players as starters in our secondary, like the whole secondary is, outside of Jaquan Brisker and Kevin Byard. Our defense is beat up and injured, and we just found out today our all-pro corner is out for the season, so we're not getting that back. But it's a process. I expect like 5 to 7 wins this year.
You drafted a quarterback that paints his fingernails. Probably not a good sign.
Maybe they're notes. Remind him what he's got to
do. I watched him all through college, and my only question is, I always wondered if the guy even liked football. I just didn't think he liked it.
I can tell you this right now.
Now I think I'm right, because he doesn't act like it. I don't think he puts in the effort.
Well, if you look at last year, the numbers that he put up, this is the funny thing that nobody realizes or knows about. The offensive coordinator that we hired, Shane Waldron, last year, he got fired like 4 games in, but he never sat with Williams and even worked with him. Caleb Williams did the whole offense by himself. He didn't have any help or anything last year. It was just him. So, take that how you want to take it. He still threw over 3,000 yards and had only 6 interceptions for a rookie. I mean, it's pretty impressive, especially if they're doing it by themselves. Now this year he's working with a new offensive coordinator, new quarterback coach, new head coach. So it's only week 2, so I'm not panicking. Like I said, I'm a realist. I didn't expect to win the NFC North or anything, but 5 to 7 wins. That's where I lay.
Well, they are haunted by that old Bears team that won the Super Bowl.
We're not haunted. We're cursed.
Yeah.
Well,
almost as bad as the Browns.
So. Well, the good news is the Brown. They got to keep their team name.
Hey now, the Cubs broke their
Ravens, curse. And the Ravens didn't have to keep that curse.
Yeah, you guys got lucky there. But the Cubs don't have a curse anymore.
Well,
we won a World Series in 2016. And this year we're 20 games above 500, and we're going to be in the playoffs this year. So we're doing good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doing good. Oh,
See,
yeah.
I don't watch baseball.
I had no idea.
I haven't watched baseball since 1993.
Shout out Pete Crow Armstrong.
Just haven't watched.
You never know if he's going to watch.
So
You know how long it's been since I watched
1993.
the Astros play in the World Series. It wasn't long ago.
The Dodgers.
Yeah, see, they were both in the National League. I didn't know Houston moved to American League.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been.
It's been a few years. Been a minute. But they got caught stealing signs, so sports.
Doesn't everybody do it? I mean, let's be honest. They all do it. They're watching. They're keeping track.
No.
But yeah, Ron actually tried out for the St. Louis Cardinals back when we were much younger.
Oh, did they hire a kid for the Bat Boy?
No, this was as a pitcher. So he was too old. He told them his true age. And when he said 24, they said 22. They're saying you're too old.
Oh, they would have stuck you in the farm system and let you stay there till you're like 38. And then they'd be like, oh, yeah, you're too old. You got to go.
So didn't matter.
I had one coach said I should have lied. It's like, why didn't you tell me that before?
The thing is that coach was his
Like,
coach.
I should have said, well, I was lying.
I thought you guys wanted me to be older.
Well, wasn't that one of the
18.
coaches that was coached against you when you
No, that was not one of the other ones. No, it was one of the coaches out there was my Legion coach. One of them that was out there. So he knew how old I was. But he wasn't the one that was pushing that issue.
Man, Ron, I had you pegged for a catcher. No judgment
Third
here,
base. I actually played third base.
But yeah, they got him. He was up there throwing. Said he was throwing really good. Then I remember sitting there. I mean, I remember sitting in the stands, but I didn't even have a baby yet.
Wow.
That tells you how long ago that was. No kids.
Wow.
So, I wanted to ask you, how's Addie doing?
She's good. She's in kindergarten. Started to make friends and want to be with her friends more than me. But it's okay.
Yep.
It's okay.
I know that's the way it goes. So what is she going to be for Halloween this year?
I don't know. The ideas she keeps throwing out there, they don't make costumes for that. So like she wants to be a Labubu. And they don't have Labubu costumes. So I'm going to try to influence her into being something different. I'm not sure what yet, but
You always made ours.
I know. So that's the way we were growing up too.
Yeah.
But her cousin and her are going to go trick-or-treating together again this year. And they were talking about, like a couple weeks ago, they were together and they were talking about going as black cats. So.
Okay. Well, that's easy. Go to Walmart. $6. The pick, the tail, the head. Yep. Got it done. A little bit of makeup, easy. Black sweatsuit. Yep. I'll tell you, one year we got an ice storm and we lived in Kansas City, Missouri, and it was Halloween and it was sleeting.
I remember that.
And I had to figure out how to get costumes on a kid over her coat. So I took a pillowcase and I cut the top out and the sides out and I put it over her coat, and everybody asked her what she was, and she said, I'm a pillow. It was a white pillowcase. She could have said ghost, but she was a pillow that year. And one year we didn't have the money, and so I had this little red jumpsuit and I sewed a little red tail and put horns on a headband, and I made I sewed the horns into a hood, because this whole little jumpsuit had a hood made her a little demon.
Heck yeah.
So I figured it out, pretty quick.
Yep.
But there are times that, here it's weird because you can wear your costume without a bunch of junk under it and still be, and either be sweating your ass off. But the 2 Halloweens we've had here so far, it's like it was chilly on Halloween.
Yeah,
we found
got
out
lucky last year.
that
a good one.
They here though for Halloween, beads. They want beads more than they want candy. Mardi Gras beads.
Okay.
I found that out by accident last year when I ran out of candy.
Yeah, I said, let's take these beads just in case.
Yeah.
I said, let's just take these beads just in case we run out of candy so we have something to give
I
them.
had some kids coming back later on that night, and I said, hey, haven't you been here before? And they went, yeah. And I said, you back for more beads? And I said, yep. It's like, oh, okay, here you go.
Well, at least you weren't earning them.
Well, I already earned them.
She earns them, he gives them away.
The Christmas parade, the Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah,
we earn them because they throw them so hard they bash you in the head. And I mean, some of these beads are this big around. I mean,
oh yeah,
they weigh like 10 pounds.
We get a bunch.
Yeah, I've got 3 bags of them damn things. But have you ever heard of the thing about people giving out potatoes in their Halloween bags? Yeah, somebody gave out potatoes. Yeah, last year I kept finding potatoes on the ground, and they go, "Well, people keep giving them to us."
Really?
Like, might as well just give them eggs.
Yeah. Launch them at the house.
Eggs and give it to them.
Stick
I
them
guess
in
in
tailpipes.
case they didn't have dinner.
Put them in their tailpipes. There you go.
In your system.
Right.
So I guess it's a thing.
Yeah.
So I'd never heard of it, but I don't know. So, well, hopefully you guys figure it out. But the black cat, they had black cat with pink and black cat with purple, and then they have a cougar or a wildcat, whatever.
She's got a while before she gets there, but
it'll
be a simple costume.
The Jaguar. Yeah, we got Piper the Jaguar one. We'd rather call her a Jaguar since we're in Florida than a cougar.
Right. Whenever you say
I guess
cougar,
I could wear the other part.
That's what we gotta do. Go to the Jaguars game.
So when do you plan on? Are you already putting together an outline and stuff for your film?
Yeah, I've already got a screenplay for it. The only thing I'm looking to do besides raising the funds is just getting people together. I've got to scout the location, which I did a little bit of scouting Sunday, and but just the prep work basically, and then the filming. But the prep work I don't think is going to be too difficult. And once I find the location, I thought about renting an Airbnb and just using that, but yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be too difficult. It's just having the funds to make it happen is the thing.
So I did not know that, Susan and Mike.
I didn't either.
Listen.
No, I do listen. It's just I forget things. As I get older, I just forget. If it didn't stick the first time, it sticks the second time.
Right.
So it is what it is. So,
but yeah, the with the film, and I could tell everybody a little bit about the film. It's right up Josh Hurd's alley. It is going to be about aliens. Being in the paranormal with doing the podcast and stuff like that. All the research that I've done on different subject matters, it felt comfortable to do a film in a subject matter that I'm comfortable with. So, with alien abductions, cattle mutilation, all the stuff you read about in your research, a lot of times it doesn't necessarily come out right in film. Like there's some films that have done really good job with alien stuff, but then there's some that are just a little eccentric. So I thought it would be really like you could really take all these stories, combine it into one thing, and still make a horrifying movie or a scary movie out of something that's based on facts, issues that are happening, stuff that some people can relate to. I've already had people message me about, like, they see the poster that I put out, and a lot of people, not a lot, but a few people have reached out, and just based off the poster, it reminded them of an experience that they had. And I was like, okay, we touched a nerve, so let's keep going with that.
Well, that's good. I know, I see stuff in everyday life that reminds me of movies, especially the Final Destination movies. We got log trucks running up and down the road.
Yes, that's got to be the number one thing, the log truck.
Yeah, that's the only, I've never seen the movie. That's the only part I saw. I saw that and said, I'm not watching the rest, and walked away.
I don't want my life ruined.
Yeah. And the thing is we're behind those trucks all the time here.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what, we got a paper plant up about, 20 minutes away?
Yeah.
So it's, but every time I see it, that's the first thing that runs through my mind is that movie. So if you come up with something really good, it will make people think about it every single time they see it. It's free advertising.
Oh, absolutely.
So what kind of place are you looking for?
Mainly just a piece of property, something I can build on. I'd rather be able to do whatever I want on my own land instead of, paying for a house. Right. And, if you're sitting there paying on a house, but.
Yeah, for your movie, what you're looking for, something to do your movie on. What were you looking for?
It's going to be a farmhouse. The settings and everything is minimal. The way I've got this film written out and set up is to where there's minimal location shooting. It's just basically 3 locations. And so there's not a lot of work that really has to be done with that. It's just, whenever you're getting a place
John's backyard.
No, that wouldn't work.
No?
No, I'm looking for, it has to be a certain look to it. Like it's gotta have a certain ambiance.
Okay. You got something in mind.
Yeah. But to get those places, like, you have to either, if it's somebody's home, you have to pay for them to allow you to use their home for something, or if you have to go the Airbnb route, you still have to pay Airbnb. And a lot of times, you still have to get the approval to shoot a film there. And there's a lot of permits and stuff that you have to go through. Trademarking is another thing that has to happen, all the legal work and all that jazz. And then also the film submissions, like, these are all things that I'm trying to raise money for, is like all that stuff, paying the actors, feeding the actors, giving them a place to stay, like if they're coming from far away. Also some of the equipment rental, as well as after the film, there's all the marketing. There's going to be all the entrances into film festivals that cost money, especially the bigger ones that cost a little bit more money. And all the distribution and everything that goes into that. There's money to be spent from the top to the bottom. And like I said, I'm doing everything on a minimal budget, so the very minimal.
Are you shopping this around right now in the idea stage no? So you want complete autonomy.
Yes. I want to be, I want my name all over this thing. I'm very proud of the idea, the structure of it, the way I've got it playing in my head. I want to be able to do something and look at it and be like, that's mine. I did that, It's something to be proud of. So, and who knows if it has success further down the line, maybe I make something bigger and better, and it just takes another step forward. But like I said, this is just another step in my whole filmmaking process or career or what have you.
Well, I know that no matter what you do, it's going to be good. So I'm not concerned about quality.
Right.
That's the one thing that when we say David Glidden, we think quality, especially in your filming. Maybe not always in everything that you say, but in what you do usually.
Right. I'm not the best speaker, but I do try to get my point across pretty good.
You do very well, and you know, I know you're going to be able to do it, so I'm not that concerned. So you went on an investigation over the weekend.
I did.
Right?
I was invited by Big Boy Paranormal to join them at one of their events down in Arkansas, and it was pretty fun. It was got to see some familiar faces, some people that have attended the Midwest Mystery Tour. Got to see a few people there. Had a really good encounter with a gentleman. He introduced himself to me and everything, and you know, I made a post about this, and I'm guessing this is probably what you're referring to. He introduced himself to me, and it was amazing because this hadn't happened before, so I was kind of, you know, taken back by it. But he flat out told me that because of my videos and haunting history and stuff, he got into the paranormal. So the fact that I influenced somebody into exploring something like that is it was very humbling, and it's pretty amazing. Then he continued to talk about some of the locations we filmed at, especially the early ones, and that's what got me. Was it was mainly the early stuff that really did it for him. So that's awesome. That's very awesome, and I enjoy hearing stuff like that. And it kind of gives me more reason to do stuff. So.
Well, I remember some of that early stuff.
You were in some of that early stuff.
Yeah, season 2, episode 1.
Yeah, if people are out there watching that, they're going to try and get to those locations that you went to.
Oh yeah,
you know
that happens a lot, and they ask me if I can get in there sometimes, and yeah, I don't like to sit there and try to help a lot of people into the locations, especially if I don't know them. But you know, I'll give them the contact information. Like, here you go, you can try talking to them.
Yeah, I still have people contact me all the time about the Sally House, asking me how do you get in there. It's like, the Atchison Chamber of Commerce.
There you go.
I can't help you.
Waste my time.
And I always tell them, don't use my name because they won't let you in. At this point.
That's the hardest thing too, is whenever you're trying to refer somebody to somewhere, but you don't want them to make you look bad by acting a fool or doing something ridiculous. So that's why it's hard for me to just be like, yeah, I'll get you somewhere.
Hey, Julie.
Hey, Julie.
I hope everything's going good down there near Wichita. And Mike says they're looking forward to Harbor Village.
We will see you there. We will see you there.
Where is Harbor Village again?
Harbor Village is in Grove, Oklahoma. It's an outdoor museum. It has, like, I want to say about 90 buildings, 80 buildings to 90 buildings on property. They're built replicas. Some of them are built replica, and some of them are actually old homes and buildings that they've moved there. There's over 500,000 artifacts at this location, and each building's themed differently. And it's pretty amazing the difference in activity from place to place. And there hasn't been a lot of investigation out there. I've done quite a bit, and every time I go there, it's like, it feels like it's helping the activity grow. You know, like if you go to a location, like a new location, it may not be that active, but the more you go, it seems like the more the activity picks up. And I think the more we do these events, the more I go there to investigate, the more anybody else goes there to investigate, that the activity would pick up quite a bit. And the last time I was there, the one place I'd never investigate is the Welcome Center. And we did a live stream, and I put a camera in there, and there was a lot of stuff that sounded like it was going on in there. So that's going to be a place to focus during the Midwest Mystery Tour events in October.
Yes, Julie, in Oklahoma.
Grove, Oklahoma.
So let's see.
It's not letting me connect to the chat, so I'll have to send you the link. if you want to share them.
I will. I'll share them after the show. So it's just easier to do it after the show. I like to focus on what I'm doing and trying to pull all this other stuff up. So
yeah, just do a search for Midwest Mystery Tour on Eventbrite, and you can find tickets.
Yep. and I'll share it after the show. I'll make sure that it gets into all the chats. So so you've got that going on. Where are some of the other places that you're going for the Midwest Mystery Tour, or have you not announced all of them yet?
Well, we did Garnett last month. But on the 10th and 11th, we're doing Grove. And then on the 18th, I'll be down in Bollinger, Texas at the Old Park Hotel, which I'm really looking forward to that one because some of the photos that another investigator shared with me, I couldn't even explain it. Like, there's no way I could explain it. So that on top of some of the videos. Bollinger,
Texas. It kind of looks similar to that other hotel. I mean, when you just look at it, it kind of reminds me of the one there in Kansas that you did. Just, at a quick glance. I know it's not the airport one, fly-in one. Like I said, just looking at it online.
Yeah, Beaumont. Yeah, this one, like the owner has been putting out a lot of content because a lot of people keep going there and investigating, and they're having a lot of activity over the last couple months. They are having a bizarre amount of activity, and he's been releasing like security footage of all this stuff happening to people, and like people are running out of this place, and so it makes me even more excited about it. So on October 18th, I'll be there. It's $75 per person. And since it's not an active hotel, he did open up 10 rooms for, if anybody wants to stay the night. It's $125 total. So an extra $50, you get to stay till 10 a.m. and you'll have your own room.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, we were going to ask you if you wanted to meet up with us at McPike Mansion on October 18th, but I guess not.
What's the history with this?
Well, the thing is, when we were there last year, when we went and did all that stuff last year, it's always the same weekend every year. So we knew when it was going to be, and so that's when it is, October 18th. But it is what it is. So
yeah.
So there you go, Tom. If you're listening, October 18th.
I am going to be going an extra day early down to Texas to do some filming there for Ghosted the day before we do the event. I kind of wanted to do the day after, but I also wanted to stir up the activity a little bit the day before to get it going for the next night and see if that helps. But yeah.
What's the history with that hotel?
As far as I know, like I don't know a whole lot about it yet. I've never been there. Sorry, I'm burping from the Mountain Dew. But I do know at one time it was a brothel. Like most hotels in the South, they're in Western times, 1800s. They're always an element of a brothel there. I do, if I remember correctly, there's been a couple killings there. So, is there a limit on how many tickets for the investigations? There's 15 tickets at all locations. So for Grove, I'm doing 2 nights at Grove, so it's 15 people on the first night, 15 on the second night. Bollinger, it's 15 people total. So I want to keep them rather small. That's the max I do is like 15, because you guys have been on investigations for public events or something, and there's like 30 people there, and you can't do any investigating.
You can't control it.
Yeah. 15's about right.
Yeah.
And then by midnight, half the people have dwindled away because it's not what they were expecting, and they're expecting activity left and right. So the ones that are there are the true diehard investigators or ghost hunters, and that's when things really start to pick up. But
right.
I like doing things different. So if you guys want a different experience, anybody watching, if you want a different experience, my events, I'm proud to say, are completely different from anything you'll ever participate in on a public ghost hunt.
And I have to vouch for that. So I won't be there, but it'll be better without me there. Otherwise, I get all the attention from these ghosts. We don't need that.
I don't know. It used to be a brothel.
Well,
we could use it.
I've gotten attacked everywhere. Yeah, I have gotten attacked everywhere we went. And
let somebody else get scratched.
Yeah, let somebody else get it. Somebody else can have the fun.
So, I think that.
And you're right. Smaller. Yeah, smaller is better when it comes to these events because you have some people that truly want to investigate, and they get so frustrated with the people that have never done it that ask. They just talk too much.
Yeah,
they don't get that they have to be quiet.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like the events, like all the events are cookie cutter, especially if you have like a celebrity guest host or whatever, where they'll spend like an hour with them and then they go, okay, run off and do your thing. You got like 30 to 40 people running off trying to do their own thing, but they're talking over each other and contaminating audio, and it's hard. So, 15 I can manage, I can handle everybody. I keep it in order. There is a formula. I follow it. We do some experiments. The guests get hands-on encounters with the experiments and participation, and it makes for a great time for everybody, especially me because I get to watch people like suffer. They have a good time. I'm kidding. They don't suffer.
I know they do. I know that when there have been times where we went to events where the Pythian Castle, for one. Mm-hmm. Yes, we've made some really good friends there and everything else. But with the 50 people that were there, you have people come up to you and going, look, I got an EVP. Mm-hmm. And I listen to it and it's like, that sounds like their voice.
Yeah.
And we had that also at the Sally house. Somebody got an EVP of somebody yelling, get out. And it was the neighbor yelling at their dog to get out of their house, to go to the bathroom. And it's like, but when you tell them that, they get all defensive.
Oh, yeah.
So smaller is better. And Suffer, Julie, it's because he does experiments and he makes the people be parts of those experiments. So just keep that in mind. But it's a great time.
They're not all bad experiments. No, you've mentioned Pythian a couple times. 2 weeks ago, I was just there. Haunted Souls did a event, and I was a special guest for that event. And I actually had, I would say it's my second experience I've ever had there. I've been there 3 times now. But there wasn't a lot of people there. And we were in the top floor, right-hand side of the building, the boys area, when it was an orphanage.
Yeah.
And there was a group of 4 people sitting off to my right. I was just standing there, had my phone on a tripod, taking low light pictures, long exposure shots. And as I'm doing this, I heard a sound. To me, it sounded like kids on a playground screaming, like when they're playing. Like, I'd never heard that before, but that's what it sounded like to me. And I had to say something to them, and we went back over their audio, and sure enough, it picked up on audio. But it was an interesting sound. Like it was cool to hear it. But yeah, that was my
some stuff in that room.
Yeah,
that was my first time catching anything there. So
yeah,
it sounded like kids playing in there.
That one time we were there, but historically speaking, I'm the first person to get scratched there. That was weird.
Of course.
Yeah. And I don't know why. I know. And I don't know if it's because they're reaching out, that they used to work for AT&T. They have to reach out and touch someone or what. But Yeah. So, but yeah, it's strange. And I mean, and it happened in places where you wouldn't expect it. The 2 times it happened there, once was in one of the German cells on the bottom floor, back by the kitchen, in that cell there. And then the other time was in
the interrogation room.
In the interrogation room.
I expected that.
Not the one on the side by the bowling alley, but the side on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the same time, that's when Tony Pickman had something happen to him in the room right next door at the same time.
Huh. Oh, man.
So I know. Man. It's just kind of weird. Timing was weird.
I got to see them.
I didn't know.
Seen them briefly at the conference in Leavenworth. I didn't say hi or not. Yeah, I didn't say hi or anything, but they were there for like one speaker, and they left shortly after because said speaker started talking about the Sally House and how it's bullshit. Said it right to their face.
Oh, what?
You mean before or now?
Forever.
I don't know.
Forever.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know.
Who was the speaker?
Dustin Perry.
Oh, he wouldn't know. Wouldn't know his butt from a hole in the ground.
No, when he was talking about it, I wasn't in there. I was told about it, but apparently he was talking about it. He just turned around right when he said the BS, and right there was Tony and Deb Pickman, and then she, I guess later made a post about how it was a good event, good to see some people, and how they stayed for one speaker, and it wasn't that great. And yeah, I laughed about that. It was good stuff.
Well, yeah, everybody has an opinion, and I find it odd that he would say that after being such good friends with Joe Citrone for all these years, and they talk, Joe's told him about all the stuff that happened to him.
Yeah,
there.
That is weird.
Yeah. So, like I said, I find that odd, but
I don't know if he was referencing to the whole thing or just like the Pickman story, or if he was referencing like, I don't know. I like I said, I just know that that's what happened when he was in there, and that's why the Pickmans left shortly after.
Well, I tell you, I
have my opinion
stuff too. Sally. I know you have your experiences there, and there's some stuff that I believe is true about the Sally House, and there's other stuff that I don't believe. And I mean, you've heard me talk about it, so I mean, I'm not shy about what I believe, and I do believe that somebody did something that made parts of that happen. If it truly is haunted, somebody did something to make it happen, because why wasn't there ever any
stuff before
they moved?
That's what I think it was.
This whole pentagram thing, and I may not be the first to say it, but at least I'm saying it here. That whole pentagram thing, I don't think it was pre-Pickman. I think it was the Pickmans.
It wasn't. It was after the Pickmans lived there. I have proof of that.
Yeah, that was.
It was after.
It definitely was.
So whenever I interviewed them, like when I did the episode years ago, it's been over a decade, I think.
I was gonna say we did that stuff in 2015.
Yeah,
when
it was a long time ago.
And I thought your video was like from 2013 or 2012.
So when we did the interview with the Pickmans, the initial interview, they told us that they used to be Catholic, but they're no longer practicing. And as I'm looking around, I see like all this. I don't know. I don't even want to put a religion. I would guess pagan. You could slap a generic term like pagan symbols around the house. Like there's all this shit around, and I'm like, wait a minute, something's not adding up here. And then like they said they stopped being religious, but they got all this other stuff in here. Like that doesn't make sense. And then of course she told us about the book deal and the movie deal and all this stuff that they had going on. I'm like, you don't say. And then of course the video I caught him in,
yeah, we won't talk about that. So if you guys want to see the video, let us know. David still has it out there online.
I do.
I know where it is. So, But yeah, there's some things that make me question a lot of that. And 7 years of being tour guides there, yes, we experienced a lot of things that I can't explain. But why it's haunted is
You write a book on it.
Yeah.
On everything.
But
I mean, we were in there a lot.
Well, like I told somebody, we were in there about 600 hours a year.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is.
Plus some overnights and.
But
I mean,
like I said, there was things that happened.
I'm not going to sit here and say that it wasn't haunted. At the time that I investigated it, the first time especially, I had some bizarre experiences. But it was all that was just kind of ruined because of them. And then, of course, when we went back and we filmed that episode, like there wasn't a whole lot going on that night either. So that was a little weird. I ended up staying up all night. Yeah. You just never know.
And that's not uncommon there.
Yeah, well, I found was there are some nights you didn't have a whole lot going on. But I can tell you nothing happened between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. ever. It didn't matter if it was active that whole night. At 3 o'clock, it just shut down.
Huh.
It was weird.
Just
for 4 hours at least.
Kind of petered out.
Every time. I mean, nothing would happen after 3 to 7.
We had people that thought it was funny. They'd ask us to come and stay, and we would sleep in the nursery, both of us in the twin bed. I mean, you saw us at the other place out at Ashmore Estates. We slept in the little bed together. Not a big deal.
Healed ahead.
But we have people that make fun of us for sleeping in the twin bed together.
We had to sew them into their bed so they don't,
So we didn't roll out.
Yeah.
So that reminds me, when we went to Ashmore Estates last year, did you guys get a lot of evidence?
No. There was a lot of talking that was bleeding through. So like I kind of had to throw a lot of the audio out.
What about in the basement? That was pretty quiet down there.
It was. I think it was just quiet because like it was a bunch of guys running down there. And from what I understand, like the guy that's in the boiler room, like is things more geared towards women. So I think we just didn't fit the bill. So
well, I mean, we did have some stuff happen while I was sitting on the steps. I just knew I wasn't coming down there after
you didn't.
The earlier stuff. I mean, we hadn't even been there, what?
You weren't there
30 minutes?
Very long.
40. And I'm having stuff happen and I'm having to leave.
Yeah.
Well, the only other thing that happened was like there was some movement on the stairs. Like we could hear it and it would turn on the motion light. But in one room I did see a mouse run in there. But a mouse doesn't make the kind of movements that was coming from the stairwell. So initially I thought it was a mouse and I was like, it's just a mouse running around. But the mice don't make these loud shuffling sounds, so it was kind of weird. I wouldn't call it paranormal. I don't have enough to back that kind of claim up, but like it was odd,
Yeah, I think the break room was the most active.
Probably, like they did catch that EVP.
Oh, the coffee.
Oh, when I spilled the coffee.
Yeah.
I made a mess with the coffee, and Susan got an EVP of it making fun of me making a mess with the coffee maker. But let's be fair. I don't drink coffee. I do not know how to make coffee. So, in fact, that reminds me, we got to donate the coffee maker because I am not keeping a coffee maker I don't need. So
I don't blame you. Yeah, this comment from Julie, had a friend go there and she and her boyfriend had nothing. A lot of these places that get visited a lot, like it seems to me like after a while, it's almost like the spirits just get tired of it. They just stop.
Yeah, they
for a while, and then they'll have the outburst where people are getting stuff for like a month or something, and then it just chills out.
What about? So one of the things that we had, I remember we asked a question, and through the the echo box, it sounded like Rick's voice. That was strange. We were upstairs, I think on the third floor, and we had asked a question.
Was I present for that?
And I think you had just come upstairs at that time, right after it happened. But I could have
sworn. You may not have been up there.
I could have swore it was his voice. It sounded just like him. And of course, the night before, night before that, when we were at McPike, you know, we didn't get a whole lot of stuff, but I just had this feeling like, you know, Coyote Chris was there.
Huh.
Did I know that for a fact? No, but for some reason, I hadn't felt him there the week before at all. Right. But when you guys were there, for some reason, I felt like he was making an appearance, and it's odd. But you know, with you know, Rick, knowing, I mean, at this point, I didn't know that there was a memorial for Rick on the wall until the next morning.
Yeah, the plaque or the pictures and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think me, you, Susan, and Mike were upstairs when we were getting that.
Oh, David came up and we were asking Rick to kick David in the butt.
Now, I did have another psychic tell me that next time I went back to Malvern or something, Rick was going to make fart noises on the recording. So I'm still waiting for that yet. I've been back there once or twice now and still haven't gotten it. But I'm waiting for it. So,
well, we all know that was one of his favorite places to go.
Yep.
He was
that's one of mine.
He was never short on stories from Malvern Manor.
No.
Oh yeah.
Not at all. So, well, you want to give the dates of your events again for the Midwest Mystery Tour so that people can hear that?
Yeah, if you guys want to join me on the tour, go to Eventbrite, look for the Midwest Mystery Tour. And for Grove, the Harbor Village event is going to be October 10th and 11th. Starts at, I think, 8 p.m. and goes till 2. And it's $65 a person for a ticket on those. And then in Bollinger, Texas, the weekend after, October 18th, that one's going to be $75 if you just want to join for the investigation. But if you want to stay at the hotel, there's 10 rooms available. So it's an extra $50 per person. So $125 gets you room and board while you're investigating. So
is there an event after that?
I'm sorry?
Is Ballinger the last? Is Ballinger the last event?
Yeah, okay. It is. I think after that, well, the 20th is Addie's birthday. So as soon as I get back from there, spending some time with Addie. And then, of course, Halloween, going to be with her. John and I, on the 30th of this month, we are once again teaming up with KY3 News for a Halloween story. Going to be investigating with them again. Can't divulge too much about that yet, but I'm looking forward to it. It's a place that used to be a field hospital during the Civil War. So
right.
Well, that's one piece of history that I always love being associated with the place. So after that, outside of that, I just have the Crossing Realms conference this weekend in Richmond, Missouri, on Friday and Saturday. So,
well, I hope that you have safe travels, and you'll be hearing from me on Addie's birthday. I always send you a message because I remember when she was born, and I remember I had a concussion. So I know.
She was so surprised that she passed out and hit her head.
No, actually, the night before we were at McPike, and I had been in the hospital. If you recall, I was in the hospital with the lung thing, and I suddenly had a feeling where I had to get out of the basement. I couldn't breathe, and I walked out the door.
Yeah, the steel doors. And I said, "Do you need a light?" She says, "No." And I hear, "Ding!" I went, "Yeah, you did."
Yeah, it was my head hit the.
Nice.
It has these, castle type doors, and I ran right into it and made Coyote Chris feel really bad, and Ron too. But
she was done for the night.
Yep, I was done for the night at that point.
Okay.
So, needless to say, and we were at Dairy Queen when you called us.
That sounds good.
And
sounds good. Don't do that to me.
Well, you know what town that was in? That was in where the original Springs Hotel is, and you were just there recently, weren't you?
Which one?
Somebody was there. The original Springs in Ocawville.
Not me.
No, somebody else was recently there
wait.
investigating.
Oh, in Illinois? Yeah. I was there. I wasn't investigating. That was back in May.
Yeah.
When I was traveling for the filming for Dark Realm.
Yep.
So that's something I just want to put this out there for anybody that is ever looking for a new place. This is the best way I've found to find places to go visit. And that's if you have like something you got to do in another town or city or something, and it's a good drive away, take a scenic route, make some time to hit these small towns as you pass through, like go off the highway and just drive through these towns. It takes like 5 minutes to detour into a small town, but you find some really amazing places like that. And that one in Ocawville, I drove by that. I was just looking for a library so I can get like Wi-Fi to upload something, and I just drove by that hotel. I'm like, oh damn, that looks interesting. So I had to turn around and go back, and they let me walk around and take some pictures and stuff like that.
How you found it?
Their restaurant is really their restaurant was really good when we went, but I went there. Shoot, Lauren and Leah were still living at home, but yeah, we spent the night there one time when I was coming back from Kentucky, and I left a recorder on in the room while we went to eat, and I left it on top of a desk, and all you could hear is somebody going through the drawers in the room.
Interesting.
And that was, and Leah didn't want to stay there because she goes, "You said it's haunted." I said, "We're going to prove that it's not." That's what she didn't know about that, about this noise. That's probably the only EVP I ever truly caught, that I know that I caught, was something ruffling through the drawers. But yeah, it's a neat little hotel, and it was pretty inexpensive. I
talked to one of the staff members there. She was telling me that they had ghost hunters had come there and filmed, and they were hearing footsteps above like the third floor, but there's like nothing above the third floor. There's not even an attic, but they were hearing footsteps above them. And that didn't even make it into the show, what she was telling me. But I would like to go back there and investigate sometime if they ever let me. But
yeah, the spa was really nice too. Taking a big mineral bath, that was nice. I threw my back out while I was in Kentucky, and so I went and I did a mineral bath. And they send you home after you do that. They send you home with a gallon jug of their mineral water.
Well, that's nice of them.
Yeah. Luckily not from the bathtub.
Right. Just get out of the toilet there.
But yeah, like I said, is the original part of the hotel is the neat part. The other part, not so much.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? I'm going to end the show here. I'm going to thank you so much for coming on. I'd like everybody to check out the Midwest Mystery Tour. If you don't find it on Eventbrite, go search it on Facebook. You should find it. It's pretty easy to find. And I will be posting a link in the chat when I'm done here so that you guys can find that. And I had to tell you, I highly recommend David for for his tours because he does a good job.
Also want to throw out there, be sure to visit From the Darkness on Indiegogo. If you guys can make a contribution, everything's welcome, even if you just shared it. There are perks in there, some really awesome perks for those who do contribute. So grab one of those perks and let's make something beautiful and scary.
I will definitely do that, and I will share the link to the Indiegogo because I know it's out there. So I'll get that and share that. So yep, I highly recommend you guys doing that too. David is very careful with his money when he's doing this filming stuff. So you guys check it out. Check out Into the Light 1 and 2.
Yes.
And see his handiwork. You'll love it. I guarantee it. So I hope you guys will join us here each and every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central for the Paranormal Pride. You can find us here on YouTube, Facebook, Dark Realm, on Dark Realm TV. And, you heard David talk about that. We're on Dark Realm as well. So I'd like to thank Jason and darn it,
Jay.
All the J's. Yeah, Jay.
Okay.
For allowing me to be on here. I really appreciate it. You can also find us on Things Network and Temple Phoenix Rising Entertainment, Denise Pridemore LinkedIn, and wherever else that you guys want me to be, tell me and I will get there. So you guys have a great night, and make sure you go out there and check out David Glidden and all of his fancy stuff that he shares. He does a great job. So you guys have a great night.
Yep. Good night.
Thank you.